Alright. What's up, guys? In today's episode, we're actually going to be doing a little bit of a parasite flush.
What's up, Undisputed Reptiles?
Welcome back to another fun-filled educational video.
Alright, run it. Really. Alright, cool. Finishing the most sexiest king snakes, in my honest opinion, back here in the lane snakes.
I'm going to actually get to the new additions. You know, we've got really parasite flush, then we've got really fresh substrate. I'm talking about this.
There you go. Nice. The female also took, man. Isn't that freaking awesome?
Alright, so now that we're done cleaning, and breeding the species is 100% the easiest part. Alright. What's up, guys? In today's episode, we're actually going to be doing a little bit of a parasite flush. No, I hope you guys can read that. Panicure. This is effective for so many different parasites. Let me go to the English names. Wireworm, brown stomach worm, cattle bankrupt worm, nodular worm, hookworm, and lungworm. I routinely every year do a parasite flush on my entire collection. And what I've recently started doing is every single new animal that comes in, gets whacked with the Panicure course, and we're actually going to be going through this together. So first off, before we can even think of administering anything like this, we need to catch weights. All right, now in order to do that, I'm using my trusty scale, and we're going to be using a tub. Where did I put that tub? But I think before we go through the whole method of how to Panicure flush, let's discuss why it's important to parasite flush, right? So guys, if you have a collection that you prize and you enjoy, and you have a collection that is ever expanding and never stopping, it is best to parasite flush all new additions and to annually flush your entire collections. Because a lot of times there could be parasite dormant in the animal's body's doing a great job at fighting it, and then a day or two under stressful conditions, let's say for example you have a thermostat that break, or you were handling the animal too frequently, and all of a sudden boom, those parasites metastasize and they become extremely volatile. Your animal will lose weight, you'll have an animal passing away. You know, so it's just best to parasite flush once a year at least, a 3-course treatment. I'll explain everything to you guys as this video goes on. I mean, there are so much more risks into not parasite flushing than there is to actually parasite flush. So why would you even want to risk it in any case? Beautiful blue-eyed leucistic rat snake, right? Another thing that you guys need to know is parasite can come in many different forms, right? It can come in a meal. Let's say, for example, one time you skip feeding frozen thawed and you just get pre-killed, you're in a rush or whatever, and then accidentally introduce parasites to your collection, or you were at someone else's collection, you're working with some of their animals, they weren't aware of a parasite, and now you brought a parasite back home and you're working with your animals. There's a whole rigmarole of ways and a whole variety of methods that you can actually end up getting parasites into your precious collection. So it's just the best thing to do is to parasite flush, guys. I cannot reiterate how important that is. Rather get it done early, get parasites gone before you even see anything, than actually first trying to treat once you see the parasites. All right, now what makes this product so secure with your animals? Well, for example, if you're like me and you're still waiting on double clutches and things like that, and you have animals with eggs in them, or potentially animals with live babies in them, Panicure does nothing to the babies. That's right, it's completely safe to the eggs and the babies. You won't end up losing some of your babies, although I do try and parasite flush as much as I can out of breeding season, just for in case, but you know, I'm about to prove that to you guys. What we need to do is we need to grab out the females. Well, the snakes. Oh, the snake's gonna rip me to pieces. I can just see this coming. Oh, man. I'm just waiting for this to happen. Alright, so we need to grab out the females. Once we have them out and about, we need to weigh them. So all I did was I put this empty tub on top, zeroed that tub, put the female in. So she's weighing 433 grams. So then I write it down, 433 grams. Banana aberrant. And then that's her weight, to which I'm going to be using the Panicure ratio. All right, so after we've captured everyone's weights, you're going to need two things, right? You're going to need a 1mm syringe. I prefer to use 1mm because you'll see in a second it makes for much more accurate dosages. And then you need an actual needle. For this, I'm also using a 1.2mm needle. It's a little thick, but you know, Panicure can be quite thick, and I don't want to struggle, right? So let's open this up. All right, now I'm going to draw up the Panicure, right? I'm going to draw up a full 1 ml of Panicure. You definitely want to shake this stuff, right? And you want to keep this in the fridge as well, guys. If you don't, it's going to get manky quick, and it has an expiry date. So try and buy size adequate that you can actually, dose your entire collection without having to waste more money, because it can be quite expensive. I mean, just a small bottle is like $230. The 1 liter one, which is what I used to use when I worked with a lot of constrictors every time I parasite flushed, the 1 liter one, a little more expensive. I think that's almost 1,000 Rand. On the dollar price, I guess it's not so bad, but on the Rand, it's pretty rough. All right, so when it comes to pulling up the vial, after shaking it really nice, I just take my little injector and pull up 1 ml. Right, so now after you've pulled up 1 ml, you want to make sure you've got no air bubbles inside, which I can see I have a lot of air bubbles. It was a bad pull. Get all those air bubbles out. All right, so now that all the air bubbles are out, I'm on 0.7, so I need to definitely drop some more. Still, you want to shoot out all the air bubbles. All right, I'm on an exact ml now. After that, very quite simply, just take the needle in, and now we're essentially ready to go. Now, no, you're not going to be actually injecting your animals through this. We're going to be discussing just one specific way of parasite flushing, which is for animals that are healthy and still have an appetite. I don't have any animals now with no appetite and things like that are riddled with parasites that you'd need to orally administer. But if that ever does come up, I will do a video for you guys with that as well and explain how that works. But for now, we're doing this method. All right, now the first snake is the Texas rat snake male, and he's weighing 800 grams. So the ratio that you want to use, Panacure, is 1 ml per kilogram, right? So that means if this boy is 800 grams, I'm going to use 0.8 ml. So as you guys can see here, we're on 1 ml. So I'm going to use 0.8 ml. So there's going to be 2 ml left inside. So all I do is I just enter the chest cavity here. And once it's in, I very meticulously dose. You want to make sure that you don't just spray too fast and then most of it seeps out. It's going to influence your dosages. And, any type of medication that requires dosage, you really want to be as accurate as possible. Now, I'll always underdose a bit. So instead of going exactly 0.8, I'm going to be going 0.75. So that leaves me with 2.5 in here. So right after that, I just spread the Panacure a bit. And then, it's as easy as offering it to the snake. All right, let's do the blue-eyed leucistic now. So the blue-eyed leucistic's weight is, you want to keep track of this. All right, so that's done. The blue-eyed leucistic weight is 248 grams, which means 0.2 is going to be more than enough of a dosage for that animal. Also, when you parasite flush, it is advisable to use, again, I'm going to go in here by the cavity and then do 2 ml. Again, it is advised to underdose a little bit, especially if you're not very confident. I'm very confident in my dosages, but it's just I prefer to use under still. And you want to offer a significantly smaller meal when you parasite flush to make sure that gets into the system relatively quick and relatively easy. All right, now it's just simply a repeat of that process again. Fill up my syringe full. Oh man, such a messy process. I kind of do not like using Panacure because it always spills up everywhere. All right, let's do the other Texas rat snake female. She's weighing 346 grams, so I'm just gonna go 3.3. Now let me just go 3. I'll just go 3 for her. Again, last time I'm gonna be showing you guys this boring process because I don't want you to get bored, and then we'll just show you guys all the feeding responses and everything like that. So we're gonna go in there. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, what you guys are gonna want to keep in mind when you parasite flush is you're gonna be doing a course of parasite flushing over 3 weeks because Panacure doesn't actually kill the eggs. So, all right, so as I was saying, what you're going to be doing for the first time is you're going to be doing a 1-to-1 ratio dosage for the first week. The second week of feeding, you're going to be going a 0.5-to-1 ratio. And then that third week of feeding, you're going to be going 0.25-to-1 kilo ratio. After that, you're going to be giving them a probiotic to make sure that you put a bunch of beneficial bacteria back into the stomach. For a very unhealthy snake, you'd use Flagyl after your parasite treatment. But, you know, for a healthy snake that you're routinely parasite flushing, I wouldn't recommend Flagyl, because if you make a mistake on that dosage, you know, it can be quite detrimental to your animal, because it's an antibiotic. It's a quite strong antibiotic. You need prescription to actually get it. Also, I think what would be a good side note for you guys to know is, when you parasite flush, don't put in fresh substrate, right? Because they'll lacerate all the substrate, and after the course, you can actually just change out the substrate, or you can immediately, if you know you have parasite, change out the substrate, put newspaper on there, because as second you parasite flush, they poop a lot. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for checking in. Stay tuned for when we parasite this entire room. Well, when we parasite flush this entire room. You guys know I love you. Peace out.